What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. How is everyone doing? We have a fantastic day for tech news. Not that fantastic, I'm joking, but we do have a couple of stories and a couple of questions. So let's just dive into the tech news stories. First, about Roku. Roku is a streaming video platform where you can stream your Netflix and your Amazon Prime videos and your Disney Plus and your YouTube. Well, you used to be able to use the YouTube app, and they've had an issue going back and forth with Google/YouTube, but we have some good news, and that's right. So Google and Roku have reached a deal to keep YouTube around. So the YouTube app will now continue to get support, and it will continue to work, the app itself, on your Roku device. They'll also be bringing back the YouTube TV app. This is all great news. So if you have a Roku device and you would think about switching because you were having issues with the Google apps, well, that stuff is coming back, and this is awesome. So if you, again, just a kind of an FYI, so keep your eyes peeled for all of these apps to be pushed back. Next up is about the under display camera for the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Z Fold 3 under display camera is pretty much trash. I hate it. It's really bad. If you use this thing in Snapchat, it looks horrendous. If you use it just on a selfie, it looks pretty bad. It's just a bad camera overall. It was a step down from the camera that was on the Z Fold 2. But we have, again, some more light at the end of the tunnel. If we had a name for this episode, it would be light at the end of the tunnel, because the Z Fold 4 is getting a better under display camera on the main display of the Z Fold 4. Now, this information is coming from the Naver blog, and it says the confirmation of introduction of the second generation under display related equipment for the Z Fold 4. So it says Samsung introduced for mass production of punch hole displays that plan to introduce improved second generation equipment after the first or second, whatever that says, generation has been confirmed. A small amount of test sample has been released. As I said before, the Fold 4 has a much improved UDC, or under display camera, installation than it is now. It is almost confirmed. So this is awesome, awesome rumor news that we're gonna get a much better under display camera on the Z Fold 4. Obviously, the only question I have is, obviously, is it good? How much? Well, two questions. How good is it going to be? Is it going to be as good compared to the one that we have here, or maybe a little less? And then the other part of it is, how much are we going to be able to see it, in terms of, sometimes you can see it in certain situations. I can't see it right now, but sometimes you can see a little outline of it, or a little bit of pixelization on there. Is that going to be better? So those are the two questions I have mostly, but I mean, I'd totally live with a much better camera if that's all we get, at the very least. Thanks for watching, guys. Your question of the day is, what is the worst thing about the Galaxy Z Fold 3? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm planning on doing a video on something like this, so I'm not gonna put what mine is, but let me know what yours is in the comments down below. With that said, let's jump into the Q&A portion of the video and drop that beat. First question comes from Alan Silverman. Hey Greg, I had a question. I think you're wrong in the S4 car smartwatch. The S4 Classic is a better watch. I think if you got to get anybody a Christmas gift out of the S4, out of the S4 Classic, I think we should get two heads for Classic White better. A little bit mixed up with your question, but yeah, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I do agree, the S4 Classic is probably a better watch, but I think for most people, they probably don't need the bezel that turns. And I would guess most people probably won't even use that get the watch. That's why I was recommending the S4 Classic. But yeah, I agree. The S4 Classic is probably a better watch, but the S4, just the plain S4, is probably a better watch for most people to buy to save a little bit of money. And our last question comes from Shajil Shazad. This is a long one, guys, so buckle in. It says, I have 3 questions regarding the Tab S8 series. Sorry, this is gonna be a little long. Could you kindly answer all of them? Thanks. In terms of the first question, what do I think the unique features of the S8 Ultra are going to be? Of course, like you mentioned, the larger display. Also, it'll be the only OLED version of these tablets, so that's a big plus. OLED displays are amazing, especially compared to LCD displays. The colors are richer and darker and bright and just better overall. And then beyond that, do I think we'll see some kind of software implementation? I think it's going to be more so we're going to see a keyboard attachment that is a true keyboard replacement to give it competition against the laptop. I don't think you'll see that on the other two. I think it's gonna have a specific amazing keyboard attachment that allows you to really stand it up in pretty much any surface. So I think that'll be a big selling point, but it'll also be an extra cost that goes along with it. And then to add on to that, yeah, I think potentially we might see this just run Dex out of the box and you have to switch over to Android in order to get it. Other than that, I don't know if we'll probably see much of anything that it has software-wise over the other two. He also said, which countries do I think that the Tab S8 Ultra will be available for pre-order besides US and Korea? Ooh, that's a tough one. You would think they'd have it in Europe, or at least the major countries of Europe, the most popular ones of Europe, such as the UK and I don't even know what else, France. I don't know. I don't even know what's Italy, places like that. I don't know. I would think we're probably going to see it pretty much everywhere. I know there's rumors it's going to be very limited release. I just don't think we'll probably see it in a lot of maybe the third world countries. That's my guess. And then lastly, you asked me, what do I think of the starting price of the models? The Tab S8 Ultra will go to 1 terabyte, or in the other one's the 512. So I do think we'll see 1 terabyte on the S8 Ultra, potentially, or at most 512. I don't think we'll see 512 on the other two though. And then for price, I would get probably, I don't know, $599, $799, and probably starting off at $999, maybe at $1099 on the big one. I'm not sure. Those are my guesses though. Thanks for your questions. If you have a question, leave it in the comments down below with the word question, and we'll see you down the road.